What's up, studs? Kunal here. Bulls on Wall Street. Holy moly, macaroni. A hell of a week in the markets. You know, you could see here the indexes, had a decent size rebound from where we started. At one point, we had basically bounced almost 15% off the lows. There's so many cross currents happening here. Tariffs, not tariffs. Rates going up, then going down, then going back up. Trump caving, not caving. It has been a cluster. But I think that none of that matters. If we just look today at the market indexes, we look at the price action of stocks. There are things that are tried and true that have happened throughout the history of time, no matter what you think of the news, that we need to be aware of. Number one, market breadth, all right? Market breadth, which is something that I have been using since I started trading, that we've been talking about in these videos nonstop. Market breadth. We got to levels on the T2108, which is a measure of the percentage stocks above the 40-day moving average. We got to levels that we had not been to since 2020. 5 years, we got down to a level. So you can see here, right? This percent stocks over the 40-day moving average. We tested down to these COVID lows, maybe a little bit above. Haven't been there since COVID. And before that, we really never touched this low since 2008, 2009. That's a historical bad breath, all right? That's like your creepy uncle during Thanksgiving that gets a little handsy with you, but he's like also loving. But then you're like, he's kind of drunk, and you're like, should he be doing this? Nah. But he's like kind of friendly, but then he tickles you, everybody. It's not just you, and you're like, we're kind of in that zone, right? Where you're like, you feel weird about it, but here it is, all right? We got to historical kind of market breadth lows. It does not matter the news. The news always changes when the breadth gets that low. Policy always happens. News always gets low. So don't worry about the news. The news doesn't matter. The market breadth matter. We got to a low, and that's what it is. All right. On the T2 ones, in general, eye test, we were at 540. We got the 400 on the dot. We had multiple huge gap downs. Let me just say something. We gap down, and then this particular day here, we gapped down. I was trading about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. The market was getting smoked out. Then it started reversing. I was up for 24 straight hours. Like, it was fantastic. It was great. I'm an old man. I'm 44 now. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. But holy crap, that took a lot out of me. We got the rebound. And then this is what I've noticed in every market scenario that I've ever seen when you start the bottom. You will have inevitably huge pullbacks. I'm talking like pullbacks that are bigger than all the other ones to suck in more shorts. And then you'll ramp. Then you have huge pullbacks. We hit the circuit breakers this particular day here. Now, they didn't trigger because it was only there for like 2 seconds. But we hit the circuit breakers this particular day. It's just a trap, right? They're sucking in shorts, sucking in shorts, sucking in shorts. And we're grinding higher. This market breadth told us that this bounce is going to happen. There's not you can day trade on the short side and all this stuff, but the money has been made on the long side. Now we're starting to tighten up some ranges here. So I want you to keep an eye on about this 457 on the Qs. I anticipate I'm not looking at the futures right now because it's just a fool's errand. And I don't want to trade into the night, so I've been not overtrading, but I got a young son, so, staying up all night has been a little deleterious to his own experience of life. My parents are here, so I ain't looking at futures. My thinking is if we break over this level here, we run into the 20. Break over the 20, then we run into about 481. Maybe somewhere in here. Break over that, then we run there. And then that's where the decisions happen. I don't think this market ain't doing a V-shaped bounce back to here, right? That ain't happening, people. But we may do a bounce to here. And then we pull back, and I don't know. what happens. It ain't my game to take guesses, right? We trade what we see. So just kind of keep mind of all this stuff. We're in the game, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. All right. Now look. So what do we trade? I think some Chinese stocks probably should be in play for tomorrow. I think maybe we'll see how big the gap is. If they open weak, any of them, I think we try. XPEV could be one. I think everybody looks at BABA, but there's a level here on BABA that we can trade around right now, right? And that's about 110. Let's see what happens, right? That could be something. Look, you tested the 200. You were a breakout. You came back. Guys, it's a large name, man. You come back fucking 60 points. Like, that's a buy, right? After such a big trend. So you got a level here that's basing out. So let's do a little twerky twerk around it. Ideally, we get maybe a little bit of a weak open, and then we take it out. I would not chase if you open up here. Leave it alone for now. We're still bear market. You just can't chase gaps right now. I don't think that's the smart play, right? 2 inside days in a row on PLTR. Guys, this is probably, out of all the big cap names, this is probably the better of the looking ones. Even though it didn't participate much on Friday and Thursday. They're 2 narrow range days here. I think if you take that out, you attack then the 50, and if that takes that out, then you're coming in into this spot over here, and you're good to go. Guys, the market sucks right now. There's not going to be that many hot stocks, all right? If you're looking and you're like, man, I need fucking a lot of hot stocks, we're not in that market. But there are pockets of awesomeness. I have Bitcoins right now about 84,500. I think, God, this stock's such a turd, but who cares? You're at, this thing is like a longer term veggie, whatever you want to call it, wedgination, wedgination, lactation. Dude, you got some right there. I don't know, fucking give or take. But this 300 is going to be a spot. See how it got rejected twice at this 50-day moving average? Guys, and beware of people that draw too many trend lines, right? They're usually compensating for a little something, right? So I probably am too. I'm a 6'1" Indian, though. I mean, I'm a Hindu, so obviously I got. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think so, but you never know. So watch this 300. I think that could be something. That's probably the best of the breed. You're up 10% on Friday. You got on the 15-minute chart. You got a nice level here, right? You got some good spots here that I think you can go. Well, I'm thinking 305 is a good spot. Right. Beyond that, look, you could draw a line on anything, and if the market goes up, they're all gonna go. But I think this one's got a little bit of juicy. I think AVGO's got an interesting relative strength. They announced a big share buyback. The volume has been cooking the last few days compared to all these days. Obviously it's not a good-looking chart. There's no such thing as a good-looking chart in a bear market, right? But if the market continues. Watch this thing around the 200. I think maybe that could be something, and then we'll see what's up. But guys, keep it fresh, keep it clean. If the market gets really hot, then you bottom fish. I think this NBIS is probably has made a low. But look, the chart sucks. To me, if you thought that the market was not going to bottom, this is basically a short, right? But if you think the market's bottom, like this TAM, right? Like these will play catch up here. And they got levels. See how they're just getting stuck under some spots here? They got some levels to trade, but there's supply on top, right? If you look at these 15-minute charts, yeah, they're just kind of like these kind of long-term wedgies or whatever you want to call them. 43, then you go to 46, and then that's when it really starts to speed up. So keep a couple of these more speculative names. You could do HIMS, you could do Oplo, and then we'll see what's up. But, hey, all the charts are going to look like shit. Look for something that if it clears this, you've got space up top. I think that's the key. Do not be surprised either. My gut feeling is that the low has been made, but it'd be a volatile low. So what I mean by the low has been made, but it's a volatile low, is that I think you're going to have a lot of these like 5-6% down days. Not a lot. Usually the first couple will suck out the volatility. But you're going to have these kind of 3-4% down days. So if this one was a huge one, then this one was 7, finish 4. The next one will be 3, and then the next one will be 2, right? And the volatility will kind of just bleed out. My big play, I'm holding a few overnight, is to short this VXX. You double top that 90. Now, if it breaks under 77, I think you get the 70. If it breaks under 90 MA, I think you're getting down into the 60. I think I got maybe 1,500 to 1,800, something like that overnight. I'm going to take this thing down maybe 5,000, 7,000 if we can kind of hold under here and the market ramps. And that's a big if. I don't know. You have to massage the balls on these kind of things, right? You play with the balls, give it a little love, and see what happens. Guys, nothing's going to be easy in this market. Stay cool, stay fast. I wish I had like some surefire things like you buy this and you're fucking making some money. But we're not in that. This is a trader's market. This is a scalper's market, if anything. So just stay clean. I love you guys. Peace.